Professor Castleberry here, and in this video short, I'm going to introduce the primary readings that we are using in this course, COMM3603, Mass Communication Perspectives. It's only 2 books, and don't worry, if even 2 books sounds like too much, we are not going to cover every chapter in either book, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why that's not only okay, it's a great thing. And first of all, we're trying to respect the amount of time that we have. It's a very short window in these accelerated courses, and we want everyone to be able to succeed and do well and be able to absorb and process materials. At the same time, we do not want to be afraid of challenging one another, putting information out there in your hands that's going to help inform, enlighten, and educate how you think about media, mass communication, how messages get produced, how they get received or digested, right, decoded, and thus what that process looks like for us. And you're going to have opportunities to speak back to this content in a number of ways. But here I'm simply coming at us to introduce those primary materials. Let me start with this one. This is a singular book. And what I mean by singular book is it's written by a single author, so it's a single author work as I refine my words here. It's from Arthur Asa Berger, now retired emeritus professor at I believe San Francisco State University. But he's a fascinating media scholar, and one of the reasons we've used his works over the years is he tends to write in a very readerly fashion, that is to say, reader-friendly. His writing style is engaging, meaning he's attempting to not just write about a subject because he's called to do so, or he's part of the intellectual community, or things like that. He's getting at ideas because he's sometimes working ideas out for himself, but he's also writing in a playful way. He's inviting you as reader to be thinking about these terms and these theories that he writes about, and these concepts. Well, think alongside him with your own original examples. But this is Media and Society, a Critical Perspective, and it's the 3rd edition. Now, you're going to make some observations about the 3rd edition. It's a little bit older in age now, and I want to put that to bed to say, absolutely, there are some aspects, some of the examples maybe even that he's writing about could feel they belong to a different era. And actually, not only is that okay, but that would make sense. It was written in a different time. We're always looking to update readings here, but sometimes we'll retain one book a little longer if it holds certain values. And so this book is great at introducing theoretical concepts, some theories and some methods about mass media, about mass communication that remains relevant. And I think the best way you can make sense of it is, well, think about how he's writing about those artifacts and look for your own original examples you can bring into. In fact, locating original examples that come to your mind based on these readings could be the spark that leads to the topic idea that you will ultimately be writing about in this course. So I want to plant that seed as well. Well, also we have this other book, Communication Theory and Millennial Popular Culture, Essays and Applications. This is edited by, notice the difference, Kathleen Glenister Roberts, and this is what we would refer to as an academic anthology. An academic anthology is a collected work where different scholars contribute different chapters, and those different chapters would hit on different sub-themes that are intended to have an overarching conversation, but they can be read entirely separately on their own. And that's how we're going to approach this book. And so each week, rather than thinking we're going to fully immerse your time and completely pull you away from life, that's not the case. What we're looking to do, we're going to have a sample from each book each week of the course, And there are enough chapters in these books that you could spread them across multiple classes just to get all the way through the book. But our purpose is not completion of start to finish. But we do invite you to, especially if you connect with these themes, hold on to these works, like return to them. They may be of use to future papers or discussions and maybe citations you want to add to something. It's healthy to build a library of ideas if you're on a learning journey, and isn't that what college students are on? So these two books we're going to use in different ways each week throughout the course. You'll be pressed to employ them into video discussion, maybe even written discussion, as well as writing, or more on that later, producing some discussion questions. Okay, and so that is one way to preview content coming at us in COMM3603 Mass Communication Perspectives.